Today's quickcast is from the Southern California Football Coaches Association Clinic, which was held in May. In this one, Tom Allen, head football coach at Indiana, talks about his one word and L.E.O, love everybody. I think he provides some great insight into how he thinks about putting together ideas and concepts that can really drive his team forward, help build the culture, and you're going to hear those from Coach here. This was a talk he also gave at the Illinois Football Coaches Association Clinic at the beginning of clinic season in December. The link to the entire talk, which I highly recommend, will be in the show notes. It is on CoachTube right now, and it's chaptered so you can get through his different concepts and revisit those when you need to. Again, be sure to check out the entire clinic at CoachTube. So here's Coach Allen talking about how he came up with L.E.O and what it means to his program, as well as his one words.
To me, it's all branded with the phrase, love each other. L.E.O. It's the mantra of our entire program. It's what everybody kind of has been talking about this whole past year because it's got some national publicity on it. But you know what? We've been saying it for years. As a matter of fact, when I first said it to this defense, when I was at DC, I guarantee you, I got a lot of weird looks. Let me tell you how that went down. So the meeting before, earlier, I told you about we had a meeting where I passed out those 3x5 cards right before the season started. Well, the very first meeting we had here when I was at DC, I wrote those three letters on the board, L-E-O, with the period after each letter. And I said, fellas, does anybody know what these three letters represent? What do they mean? They didn't know. I didn't expect them to. I said, fellas, these mean this: love each other. Crickets. You could have heard a pin drop in that room. I know what they were thinking. What in the world does that have to do with football and us playing great on defense? And I said, young men, you're going to learn this. These three words are going to change the way we play defense at Indiana. I know you don't understand that right now, but you will. Because here's what's at the crux of that word. That word's not a soft word. Man, that word is the epitome of toughness in this life. Because when you love somebody, man, you got to accept everything that goes with it. All the good and all the bad. All the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. All the things that most people never see within a family. Why? Because you have made a choice. We're going to love each other. We're going to stay together through thick and thin, no matter what. When things are going great and when things are going wrong. Love. That's what this is about. So to me, that phrase, it's taken from scripture, John 15:12. And I'm not bashful about that. That's what I believe. Okay. And I believe that this football team is built off of that principle of this. Two key things are said after we talk about L.E.O. We don't care who gets the credit, and it's not about me. Those are two key phrases that have to define the mindset of this team, the culture of this program. And that's tough because you know what? We all want to get credit. We all want to be able to get recognized. We all want to feel, that we're doing something special and we get rewarded as an individual. But here's what I told the team. I told the team this in that very first meeting. I said, fellas, when you don't care who gets the credit and it's not about you, an amazing thing happens on a football team. The football team plays better. When you're worried about you and you make it about yourself and you're out there trying to make plays for you and get your name recognized individually, okay, usually you don't play very well because it's a team sport and the team doesn't do very good, okay? But when you buy into this, and at this point they hadn't bought in yet, they didn't even know what it was all about yet. I said, but when you do, we're going to play great defense at Indiana. And when we get that, we're playing at a high level defensively, here's what happens. The individuals will get recognized. And how about this? In 2018, we had a record number of players make all Big Ten at Indiana as a team. That wasn't one of our best seasons yet. We hadn't even broke through yet. In 2020, we broke that record this past year for a number of all guys that made all Big Ten and 3 All-Americans as well this past season. Okay. The team played well and the individuals on that team got recognized. That's the beauty of putting the team first. So that's, to me, is the foundational component of the culture at Indiana. Now, I mentioned the one words earlier, and I'm going to throw a lot of things out at you here just to kind of give you some ideas, and you can kind of figure out what applies to you, what you think can help you and allow you to be able to do some things in your own program. So The one word mindset I got from John Gordon's book, and this is a copy of it right here. And Dan Britton and Jimmy Page are also the co-authors of the book called One Word. And that's become a big book for me personally. So we as a family have used these one words years and years before I became the coach at Indiana. And we all picked our one word at the beginning of the year and then shared those one words together. And then that became a part of our focus for the year. So I took that to my position group when I was linebackers coach before I even became a coordinator. You know, I became a coordinator, I became that side of the football. Okay. Now I'm as the head coach, our whole team does it. Okay. So we have a one word for the whole team, but every single player picks their one word every single year. Okay. And that word is to give them focus and to give them a laser intentionality to what I want to accomplish in a given year. And here's the key. I want those guys to tell us why they picked their one word. So here's what they have to do. They go through, we'll start here in January and we start that process with our team. And each guy picks his one word. They have to post it by a certain date on social media, and I repost it. And then everybody gets it out there to create accountability. Once I put it out there for the public to see, then I, as a coach, I know what your one word is. I got a whole list in my office here. When I meet with those guys one-on-one, we talk about their one word and why they picked it. We even have them share it with the team at different times throughout the year, why they pick it. I use those one words as our themes for the season during the week. So like I'll take a guy's one word, and sometimes we have one guy or multiple guys have the same one word, but they obviously picked it for different reasons. Okay. It's whatever they need to be able to keep them locked in and focused on the things they want to accomplish in a given year. Instead of having 3, 4, 5, 6 things, it's just one. Tremendous focus. So our one word for 2020 was relentless. It ended up being an amazing word for what we were about to go through. And when I picked that one word, I had no idea we're about to go into a pandemic. I picked the word in January. By March, we're in a pandemic. I've heard an epidemic before. I never heard of a pandemic. I had to look that up when we first started talking about it, when it was first starting to surface. Okay. And obviously we know exactly what it is at this point. But before this word was even picked, okay, the pandemic hadn't even occurred yet. So, but what an amazing word for what we just went through. And as this thing started unraveling and we all started getting, canceling this and canceling that, man, we had to practice what we've been preaching. Man, we couldn't blink. We had to have earmuffs and blinders about all the things people were talking about. All these crazy things are about to happen. We didn't know if we were going to have a season or not. When we're going to have a season. Every state's been a little different for high school football. Some guys are playing their season right now. Some guys are just finishing up. All sorts of different things. But we had to be relentless in our attention to detail. We had to be relentless in our belief that no matter what's going on around me, I got to focus on one thing. That is what I can control. That's my mindset and my effort, and everything I do every single day. Working out at home, working out at my apartment, doing push-ups, sit-ups, all these kind of other things these guys had to do on their own, which was really, really difficult for a lot of our guys. Okay. But that was our one word for 2020. 2019, like I said, was the word grit. All right. 2021's one word is chase. And I love this one word because here's what happened. Okay. I'm going to explain why I picked relentless, why we picked chase, where the grit concept came from as we go through all this. But there's always a meaning behind the picking of the word. That's why the words have power and meaning to us. They're personal. That's why everybody's one word has meaning and power. We have a one word wall outside our locker room. All right. And those words are all posted. I want to hold players accountable, coaches accountable for living out their one word every single day. 2021 is chase. We came up short in our final bowl game in the Outback Bowl and lost by 6 points. Had the ball at the end, had a chance to go down, win the game, kick the extra point, win the game by a point. We didn't do it. Didn't finish. Okay, we didn't accomplish our goals. Did some great things 2020. We didn't finish the way we wanted to finish. So I wanted to figure out, what's next for Indiana football? So chase. Now I want us to chase after greatness at Indiana. So that became our one word for 2021. And this is what I did. Our very first meeting, I put this definition on the board, which is the definition for chase, which is an earnest or frenzied seeking after something desired. An earnest or frenzied seeking. So I broke those words down even further. Earnest is an intense conviction. Now that's a powerful words right there now. Intense conviction. All right. The second part of that is frenzy, which is a fiery, passionate pursuit. So when I tell our players, when I met with them one-on-one, as I told them as a whole group too, I remind them when I got them together here individually, I said, man, I'm talking about, man, like a lion that's starving, that's chasing after its prey. That's how I want you to chase after greatness every single day. I want you, we're not playing tag in the backyard with your buddies when you were little. No, I'm talking about that kind of approach every single day. Because you know what? If we're going to go from being a team that had the second best record in the Big Ten to winning the Big Ten, That's a big step. I get it. Okay. It's one more win. That one more win's a big win because we got to beat those other teams again and get that other win. Okay. How are we going to do that? And a lot of people think, that's a lofty goal. Well, you know what? Sure it is. Okay. But that's what makes it awesome. So it makes it great. So here's the bottom line. Every single day, challenging our guys about chasing greatness, text messages, talking to them, reminding them. They gave me 9 things when I met with them one-on-one in January. Every single one of our players about this. Personally, academically, and physically, how are you going to chase greatness every single day? They had to give me 3 of each, 9 total. Got a copy of those in my office. Remind those guys all the time about the things they set forward. Just met with our guys again. We just finished up our spring semester. Okay. Going over their goals for the summertime. Once again, writing everything down, holding them accountable to the things they want to do to chase greatness every day. We're chasing after Big Ten championship. Haven't won one in 53 years. That's a long time. I wasn't even born the last time we won the Big Ten to Indiana. But that's the goal. That's what we're chasing after every single day.
If there's a talk from this past clinic season, you can probably find it on CoachTube. Those are available to you. If there's something you look for, don't hesitate to contact me. You can do that through Twitter DM at Coach K. Grabowski or through email keith@coachandcoordinator.com. Follow all we're doing with the podcast on coachandcoordinator.com. And again, be sure to check out the show notes, the links to this talk on CoachTube.